Love it. Love that you did that, Jeff. Phenomenal. Paul in Florida, you're up.
Oh man, Paul, first I just want to say thank you so much for your time. I have a page full of notes, so many insightful questions. I'm curious. I read your LinkedIn post that you kind of talked about earlier, right, about that review.
Mm-hmm.
One of my focuses for 2024, I'd say the main focus is intuition, and you've had
Mm-hmm.
so many pivots in your career. I'm wondering, like, what are some types of insights that you can share to kind of listen to it, but also kind of grow it, right? Because if you don't use it a lot, you don't really know where it shows up. Anything that you could share on intuition?
Great one. Wow. Intuition. Don't talk about this all the time, but I freaking love that you're bringing us here. Okay, a couple things. One is decision making is a muscle. Decision making is a muscle. So part of what cripples a lot of people in the sense of like, oh, indecision is the silent killer and all these things. The number one way to become a better decision maker or to have better intuition is use the muscle and be consistent. And so, like, it can be an intuition muscle, it can be a growth muscle, it can be a courage muscle, it can be a muscle is a muscle is a muscle. And so, like, use it. And now, intuition, while it doesn't always mean this, like, you could also paraphrase it and say, like, some people might say, oh, is that like your gut or your gut feel? Which I've been asked that a lot in Head Hard Hands. They say, well, Paul, that's cool, I'm going to use your equation, but where does gut fall into this? Fair question. And I would say, well, gut is like your impulse, gut is like this intuition. Well, what drives your gut out of Head Hard Hands? And when you back away, most people will come to the eventual conclusion that it's closest to your heart. It's like when your head says, oh, keep them, but your heart knows they're not a keeper. We've all been in those situations in personal, professional life, whatever. Your gut, your impulse, your intuition is like, this isn't right. This person's not right. This job is not right. My intuition, my heart is telling me. And here's an important factor on Head Hard Hands and how it ties to intuition. If I was to ask any outlier out there, which do you think has the greater probability of changing and evolving over time, your head or your heart? So I'm not saying it's easy, but if we work together for 30, 60, 90 days, or if we sat down for a couple coffee meetings and I said, hey, let's work on your mindset. Do you think that through putting in the hard work and the unseen hours, you could grow and improve your mindset over 30, 60? Yeah, not easy, but you could. Your head can change. But are you going to wake up with a new heart tomorrow? Probably not. And if you're not, then one of the two yellow lights is bad and one is good. The bad is the yellow that will never become a green. If your heart is never going to join this decision, this intuition for the party, then that's worse than a red, because now you're going to lose all the time in this deep, dark yellow. But when your heart is in, when your intuition is like, man, I'm feeling this, I feel drawn to this, I want to attack this. But maybe your head says, well, you don't have the money to, or it's not the right time, or that, okay, let's start working on that. Because if my heart is in, which is so rare, then I can work on getting my head to join for the party. But the opposite is not going to happen. And so for me, I double down on my intuition where my heart is in, because that can become a green versus the opposite. That's a dead end yellow.
Wow, that was so powerful. Thank you so much. I love your shirt. When Monday, I have a shirt that says no 0 days. So I wear it when I have big days. Thank you so much
Boom.
for your time.
Love it. Love it, Paul. And great name, by the way. That's a better decision faster. Thank your parents.